Welcome to Rob Schmitt Tonight. A reckoning is coming for our overcooked U.S. economy and the politicians who wrecked it by printing and dumping trillions of dollars into it during and even after COVID-19. Deutsche Bank today predicting a recession is coming next year for the United States. And as Forbes indicates, more banks will very likely follow in that prediction. Nobody who understands this economy is surprised at all by this. The government took COVID as an opportunity to do what governments love to do: create more regulations and rules in a frenzy, expand themselves, flex as much muscle as they could in the name of public safety. And the same clowns who shut everything down really enjoyed the second act, which of course was printing off mass sums of money and spending it. The inflation we've been seeing is much, much worse than this current administration claims it is. Everything that they say is designed to fool you into not changing your vote in November. They are just trying to buy time to get through this next election and keep you from panicking. They could not care less about the reality of the disaster that they have created. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen proved that recently in an interview. Proof here you can no longer trust a single word that this woman says. She has sold out her economic acumen to toe the Democrat Party line. Take a look.
We've got a good, strong economy with an excellent outlook for the labor market and real activity going forward. Inflation is a problem, and it's one that we need to address, but I don't expect a recession in the United States.
Yeah, everything's great. A few months ago, Janet Yellen told Americans back in November of last year that spending another $5 trillion on top of the trillions we've already spent, Yellen said would grow our economy and cut costs for our families. She's either the world's worst economist or simply a partisan liar. I'll leave that to you to decide. The truth is, the behavior of this government has been so reckless, inflation has gotten so bad, that the Fed is going to have to arbitrarily cause a recession just to get everything under control, just to control this pandemonium. The government gave our economy a deadly disease, and a recession is the only cure to it. And that cure comes in the form of these interest rate hikes. There will be several this year. We've talked about it before. This is what happens when you have a government that is not remotely based in economic reality. A political party that's begun to embrace insane ideas like that the United States can just print and spend as much money as it wants without any repercussions at all. Just print it off and spend it, go crazy. Everybody gets a new car. It's like Oprah. That's modern monetary theory right there. Notice that the clowns like Bernie and AOC who've been pushing MMT are being very quiet about it after this inflation spike. They said, oh, you can of course do that. Oh, no, you can't. The proof is right here. Again, none of these people should be allowed anywhere near the American economy. It is so much bigger and better than they are, but they've been allowed to come close to it, and now we have a lot of problems. More evidence of that was seen today as Democrats lambasted oil and gas companies on Capitol Hill, the same people that love to campaign and promise that they will completely destroy this industry in the very near future are just so mad that oil and gas companies won't pour tremendous amounts of their own money into exploring new drilling leases when gas prices get high. Take a look.
The problem is not a shortage of permits or land. Big oil is choosing to keep supply low, prices high, and their pockets lined with the hard-earned dollars of struggling American consumers.
Actually, the problem is we have idiots in Congress. Big oil is simply doing what's best for their business interest, in the face of comments like this next one, which somebody at the hearing was actually dumb enough to say right to their faces. Take a look.
If this crisis has showed us anything, it's why we as a country must work to break our addiction to oil as quickly as possible. And it's reinforced the urgent and existential need to transition to a more sustainable energy future for the sake of our economy, our environment, and our national security.
You damn oil companies, we are going to destroy you as soon as we can, but in the meantime, spend millions of dollars to make gas cheaper.
That's what she sounds like. The arrogance and the entitlement, and that was just a terrible impression, by the way. I'm not good at it. But the arrogance and the entitlement is what's so impressive about the Democrat Party's unique brand of ignorance on all of these issues. They are children. They spent the last several years working to end oil and gas leases. It's all they talk about. Green this, green that. Get rid of oil. Oil is evil. And as soon as prices for gas shoot up during a war and their constituents start complaining, they sit there and demand to know why there's not more drilling to keep gas prices lower. Okay. And to distract, of course, from the obvious conclusion that they, the members of Congress themselves, are the real problem. They simply allege corporate greed, another easily digestible piece of misinformation that their base loves to hear. They love to hear corporate greed because they hate corporations so much. But reality tells a very different story. Here are the profit loss numbers for major oil and gas companies over the last 2 years. These are the big boys right here. Oh, look, Exxon, they made $23 billion in 2021. Those bastards. Greedy, so greedy. Oh, but in 2020, they lost $22 billion. Huh. BP, look at them. They made $7 billion in 2021. Oh, in 2020, they lost $20 billion. Wow. Chevron made $15 billion. I guess they're the worst of the crew, right? If making a profit is bad. They only lost $5.5 billion in 2020. And their Shell got a loss of about $1.7 billion over the last 2 years. Those evil, greedy corporations, those gas companies are the worst, aren't they? That's something else.